2 days ago. We started off, it was good, and we carried on out through, did some really good turns and really good parts of the course. We got to checkpoint 1, and I jumped out the truck just to see what was going on, just have a quick visual, and we noticed a lot of coolant leaking. So we pulled over out the way, and as we did, we noticed that there was a bad coolant leak from the radiator. So we investigated, and we found out the radiator was leaking. So there's not a lot we could do. So we pulled over, sat down, had a think, waited around for a bit, got a bit bored, and there was an SSV broken down. So we went over and had a chat with 2 guys, Jim and Chris, and we helped them out for a couple of hours, repaired their vehicle, and managed to make it so their vehicle they could limp back to bivouac or to wherever. So they got underway, and we were still nothing we can do. We called back to HQ. They said, yeah, no problem, a lot of people stuck. So we just had to wait, and we waited, and we met 2 other chaps, Chris and Eric from Netherlands. We went and looked at their vehicle. They had really bad problem. They broke a ball joint, and there was not a lot we could do. So we just sat and chatted, and we told each other everybody's story, and we just made some good friends. It was brilliant. So they managed to get their assistants to come out to them. We couldn't, because we got the wrong kind of vehicle for recovering us back from the dunes. So we just sat and waited, and their assistants came, and they went. It was dark, about midnight, so we managed to get some sleep, woke up in the morning, but during the night we could hear in the distance some drums beating and like a party going on. So in the morning I rang my partner Kate in the UK, used the ERTF to get our latitude and longitude, and she put that into Google Earth and found out that not far away from us was a desert camp. Then went on Google and found Desert Camp Morocco. Then she rang the number and spoke to a guy in Marrakesh called Nick. And Nick then spoke to Kate, and she said that, Nick gave Kate the number for his business partner, Bobo, who lives in the desert. And we rang Bobo, and we gave him our what 3 words position and a GPS position. He said, this is not good enough. He said, take some pictures. So I took 3 pictures, which I think in Morocco is what 3 dunes. And from the 3 pictures, he said, yeah, I know exactly where you are. 1.5 hours?
An hour and a half.
Yeah, about an hour and a half later, Bobo turns up with one of his men, and we had lunch and drink, and we had a little picnic. It was quite civilised. And then we connected the vehicle up to his vehicle, and he towed us 60 kilometres through the desert back to his place in the local village here. And we pulled up. On the way, my phone is only working. I can only get hold of my partner Kate in the UK, because UK telephone network not very good. So Kate's then I'm messaging Kate, and Kate's messaging Ross and Chris in the service vehicle. We arrived at Bobo's place. We had some drinks, we had some food. 10 minutes later, our service vehicle turned up, and then we spent 5 hours? 5 hours, change the radiator. The radiator from the new one to the old one was a bit different. The new one had was a better radiator, but it had never been fitted to the vehicle before, so we had to make some modifications. We needed some fittings which we didn't have in the truck, so we then went to Garage Dakar, met a chap there, Mohammed, and he sorted us all the bits and pieces out. Back to Bobo's place, fitted it, finished the truck, repaired an oil leak as well. Then we had a shower, changed some nice clean clothes. He opened his house up for us. We had our own bedroom, and we sat down, the 5 of us, had a wonderful meal, and just gave each other our stories and about what we do and where we come from. Then woke up this morning, Neil went to get fuel, came back, and the differential was leaking. I mean, it was leaking bad. So you got back at 7:30? 8 o'clock? Yeah, so about 7:30, 8 o'clock this morning, the differential on the back axle was leaking really bad oil. So we took the differential apart, wheels off, drive shafts out, differential out, cleaned up the gasket surfaces, new gasket, resealed it, put it back together, differential back in, drive chassis, wheels on, filled it up with oil, and we made the start for 11:30. And today we finished. So all we've got to do now is get back to Bobo's place, because he's got dinner for us again. This guy is absolutely fantastic. He just so welcoming and just so happy to help. Nothing is a problem. He's got some fantastic people who I think work for him or help him. He just knows everybody. He knows the desert like the back of his hand. So what 3 Dunes does exist. So we've found an oil leak on the transfer gearbox, which is just a couple of pipes, no problem. But when we were out racing today, at about 1:30, we broke the front anti-roll bar. So we just took it off because it's no good anymore. And we carried on. Probably 20 minutes later, the rear anti-roll bar broke. Now, I think the front roll bar was helping the back roll bar, and the back roll bar was helping the front roll bar. So with one missing, the other one had no chance. As we go around the course with no roll bars, the vehicle was it was like a boat. Like a fat man in a small boat, right? We made it, right? Roll bars, no roll bars. If it breaks, just take it off. And just keep going. The show must go on. And the show went on. Good. And we completed. Nothing will stop us. And
the show's got to go on.
It's got to go on. So yeah, we'll repair it today, break it tomorrow, repair it tomorrow, and break it on Sunday. Our mission in Morocco is Neil built the truck, asked me to come along and raise money for a charity, Young Lives versus Cancer, which used to be Click Sergeant. And everybody we talk to, we tell we're for this charity. Last time I checked, the total was at £12,000. And there's one chap who I know is donated called Robin. He works on the Super Crew. We were chatting to him not yesterday, the day before, when we were stranded at Checkpoint 1. And my partner Kate, she told me last night that he donated. So very good thank you to Robin. Chris and Jim, the American guys we helped out with the SSV to start with, they've donated as well. So thank you ever so much for these people for giving something back to the cause we're here for.